All right, let's be real. If you're waiting to feel ready before stepping into leadership, you're going to be waiting forever. Because here's the truth that no one tells you. Every single leader that you admire, they all started before they were ready. They took messy, imperfect, bold action. And that's exactly what you need to do. Today, I'm talking about bold, imperfect action, why it's the secret weapon of every successful leader, how I had to embrace it when I started my own educational company and self-published my first book. And I'm going to give you some power moves that you can take right now to start leading, even if you don't have the title yet. So if you've been second guessing yourself, overthinking every decision, or feeling like an imposter in leadership, this one's for you. Let's get started.
Hi, friend. Are you ready to move into a leadership position? Do you have interests and ambitions that you want to pursue, but feel like you don't know how to take that next step? Maybe you want to start your own coaching or consulting agency. I'm Mel, and I help educators define their career path through correct mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for your career transition. I will show you how to level up your leadership skills, share your expertise in a new way, create impact on a larger scale, and put your leadership in motion. As an educator for over 20 years, I started to feel underused and like I had more to give. I knew when the time had come for me to leave the classroom and affect change on a larger level. Now, I'm ready to help you determine where your talents and skills mesh with your passions and interests. Put your leadership in motion and move into that next phase of your educational career journey. Let me help you define your career path by having the right mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for that next leadership position. So power up and put your leadership in motion.
Hey guys, Dr. Mel here. Thank you for joining me on Empowered Educator. Let me tell you something. If I had waited for permission, for the perfect moment, or for someone to tell me that I was ready, I wouldn't have done half the things that I've done. I would not have self-published a couple of books, one which is coming out today. I wouldn't have started Empowered Pathways Network to help educators step into leadership. And I definitely wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now on a podcast. The only reason I was able to do any of those things is because I took action before I was ready. I figured it out as I went. I failed forward, and that's what I want you to do too. When I started this podcast, I had absolutely no idea how to be a podcast host. I bought a microphone. I found some music on the internet. I downloaded that. I listened to several podcasts to kind of get a feel for what the order should be. And I recorded a couple of episodes. Were they perfect? Absolutely not. Are they perfect now? Probably not. Does it matter? Absolutely not. Because you keep coming back and listening, even though every week there's something imperfect in each episode. Here's the deal. When you're an aspiring leader, a brand new administrator, or someone who just knows that you have more to give, waiting is not the answer. Action is. So let's break down exactly what that looks like. I'm going to give you 3 bold actions that you can take right now. Number 1 is to own your leadership before you have the title. Here's the biggest mistake that I see aspiring leaders make. They wait for the title before they start leading. But leadership isn't a position, it's a mindset, guys. Start acting like a leader right now. Speak up in meetings, offer solutions instead of just pointing out problems. Support and mentor other teachers. When people start seeing you as a leader, the title will follow. and it's practice. So you can have a good interview when you want that leadership position. And when that opportunity finally comes, you won't be trying to lead. You'll already be doing it. You'll have great stuff for your resume. So here's your action step. Pick one way that you can step up this coming week. Volunteer for a leadership opportunity, mentor a colleague, or initiate a change that benefits your school. Number 2, and this one is where I myself struggle. Stop overthinking and start creating, even if it's messy. Guys, I am a perfectionist and I do not want to start until I think something is perfect. And it never is. I am the person who will sit and stress over what a font should be and the size of the font and the placement of everything for hours. I waste so much time, let me tell you. So let's talk about my books for a second. I didn't have a fancy book deal. No big publishing house was knocking on my door. I just knew I had knowledge and experiences that could help people. So I wrote the book anyway. And listen, was it perfect? Nope. But guess what? It didn't have to be, because done is better than perfect. And that first book, it opened some doors. It gave me credibility. It helped me to build a business that now impacts schools, teachers, and leaders just like you. And my second book, the anthology that's coming out today, not only is it another chance for me to take bold and perfect action, but it was also a chance for me to give other women the opportunity to take bold and perfect action. There are 5 other authors in this book. If I had waited until I felt 100% confident, or if they had waited, those books would still be sitting in my drafts somewhere. Those ladies would just have some ideas down on paper. And Empowered Pathways Network, it would not exist. You cannot let perfection, just like me, stop you from making an impact. Your second action step is to think about one thing that you've been overthinking. I am an overthinker. Don't be me. Maybe there's a blog that you've been wanting to write. Maybe you have an idea for a PD session that you would like to lead. Go ask your principal if you can lead one. Maybe there's a proposal for your school that you would like to submit. Take one messy, imperfect step toward making it happen today, or at least next week. Number 3 is to build your network and get in the room. You cannot do this leadership thing alone, guys. And if you're trying to figure it out all by yourself, you're making it way harder than it has to be. I've learned that the hard way as well. One of the best things that I ever did, I put myself in rooms with people who were ahead of me so I could learn from them. I connected with these experienced leaders. I joined networks. I'm a bit of a network queen, actually. I started conversations with people who had already done what I was trying to do. And that's just what you need to do. Do not be scared to reach out to people. I have reached out to some people that I never thought would respond to me. One of those was Melissa Bernstein. And if you don't know who that is, she is one of the co-founders, along with her husband, of Melissa and Doug Toys. You know, the really cool toys, the really expensive toys that you see in Target and maybe Walmart. I don't know if Walmart carries them, but they are amazing educational toys for kids. And I just emailed her and asked her to be on my podcast, not this one, but the other podcast that I had. And she said yes. Had I been too scared to do that, I would not have had her on the show. When you surround yourself with people who think bigger, who take action, and who push themselves, you will start doing the exact same thing. You're going to start seeing what's possible, and you will stop playing so small, guys. So here's your action step. I want you to reach out to one leader that you admire. Send a message. Ask a question. Start building those relationships because they will change the game for you. Listen, I know it's scary. Taking action before you feel ready, it's uncomfortable. But this is what separates leaders who stay stuck from the ones who actually make an impact. You don't need a title to start leading. You don't need permission to create something valuable. And you don't need to have it all figured out before you take the first step. You just need to start. I want you to tell me what one bold, imperfect action step is that you're going to take this coming week. DM me. Tag me in some social media. There is a way that you can text me with a link at the very top of the show notes. Let me know. And if this episode lit a fire under you, would you please do me a favor? Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I would also appreciate it if you would leave me a rating and a review and share this podcast with another educator who needs to hear it. Because leadership isn't about waiting. It's about stepping up right now. Let's do this.